I was thinking this Chinese railgun story was mostly about the advancement of the Chinese military, but I actually feel more like it's an example of where they continue to invest in projects that may not have a good return on investment. I think a lot of what you're seeing with Chinese military investment in 5G, all this, it's just a reflection of the fact that Chinese companies, organizations, and the government can just throw as much money as they want at things. They have been able to do so for the past 10 years or so, and just economic growth bails them out. They don't actually have to have successful investments. And so when you see, so all of these things that where China's leapfrogging the U.S. supposedly might actually be examples of bad investments that are going to increase the overall debt burden over the next 20 years. So because it's Sunday, it was a rather slow news day, and Baldwin took the opportunity to point out the fact that China has a pervasive soft power campaign in the U.S., including funding a lot of research in D.C. think tanks. So that just emphasizes the point that you need to be skeptical about any research regarding China, because it could possibly have been funded directly or indirectly by the Chinese government and not really reflect an independent point of view, even if it comes from an American think tank. On December 20th, Chinese Rear Admiral Lo Yan, while speaking at a military trade conference, announced that what the United States feared most was casualties, and that the easiest way to defeat China's main rival was to sink 2 American aircraft supercarriers, killing over 10,000 sailors in the process. When that happens, Admiral Lo announced, then we'll see how frightened America is. New Delhi is effectively funding China's India containment strategy. India's defense budget for the current financial year, at $42 billion, is 65% less than China's estimated trade surplus of $65 billion in the calendar year of 2018. This means India practically is underwriting Beijing's hostile actions against it, from its military buildup in Tibet and growing Indian Ocean encroachments to the China-Pakistan economic corridor. In the list of countries with which China has the highest trade surpluses, India now ranks number 2 behind the U.S. Baldwin also put out a Bloomberg article today talking about how China's external debt continues to rise. For some reason, they're financing the One Belt, One Road initiative with dollars. So the firms that are involved in those projects are increasing their dollar debts. And the countries that are supposed to repay their loans need to earn dollars through trade, for the most part, in order to do so, which means that China's creating its own export competitors. Anyways, if the dollar-denominated debt continues to increase, Beijing's going to be left with 2 choices. One is depreciation of the yuan, and the other is burning through its reserves. Of course, if it burns through its reserves, it might have to depreciate the yen when it runs out of those reserves. And the Investing in Chinese Stocks blog, while real estate business is falling, private loan businesses are growing due to the fact that small and medium-sized businesses can't get access to loans from banks, and they're turning to, little loan shark operations, basically.